One match down, many more to go. But it doesn't matter how many matches there are left because Barcelona get the first 3 points in their Liga season against a tough opponent in Real Sociedad. I know La Real hadn't had a point at the Camp Nou since 1995. That was a 1-1 draw even. So yeah, usually Barcelona beats Real Sociedad at home, but you know that La Real, the Basque side, is a tough opponent, and I think the Catalans should be happy with these 3 points. So today we're going to talk about what Barcelona looks like in the post-Messi era and the 5 things I learned from the 4-2 win over Real Sociedad. Let's get into it. 1. Piqué is still the heart and soul of this team. Believe it or not, I know his selfies are weird. I know people have been getting on him for getting a little older and long in the tooth in recent seasons, but Gerard Pique embodies everything that Barcelona needed to be in the post-Messi era. Of course, we're heartbroken as the fans, but this is one of his best friends, class of 1987, and Gerard Piqué, for him to score the first goal in the first match after Lionel Messi, Gamper Trophy notwithstanding, it sent an important message to culés, to socios, to his teammates that, hey, I'm still here. Sergio Busquets is still here. Jordi Alba is still here. Those veterans that we complain about, they're still here, and they're going to help lead that transition into the next era. So for Gerard Piqué to score that goal, yes, it was important for one of the captains to get a header and put Barca ahead for the first time, but you felt like he finally took on that leadership role and said, hey, we're going to put the team emotionally on my back. I'm heartbroken just like you are, but we're going to be fine. And that's all we needed in the first match in post-Messi times. It's, are we going to be okay? And the answer is yes. Number 2, Eric Garcia was ready for prime time, and you need to apologize to me. So maybe not you, because you probably believed in Eric Garcia too, but I know I took a lot of flack because Eric Garcia was going to get cut out in counterattacks over the back, that he'd have problems defending in the Liga, but Eric Garcia is 20 years old and he is just fine. He controlled the ball well, worked with Gerard Piqué, and his slide tackles were perfectly timed today. He didn't make any issues with both of those goals coming just as he was coming out of the game and when he was already out of the match. So Eric Garcia, for being just 20, coming off the plane, having played at the Euro and the Olympics, and basically playing 12 matches last year for Man City, he was ready to go in this Blaugrana system. And Ferran Araujo is probably the best defender in the preseason. That's a tough pill to swallow for him, but that's a good thing that Barcelona now have 3 center backs that I think could easily slot in. And if that means it's a 3-5-2 sometimes, because you've got to get Piqué, Eric Garcia, and Araujo on the field, that's a good problem for Ronald Koeman to have. 3. Martin Braithwaite, Lord Braithwaite, Brothgoat, Goatwaite, whatever you want to call him, a brace and an assist for the Danish winger that I didn't think was going to be at the club by this week. Clubs are willing to spend on goals, and I just never thought he would fit in at FC Barcelona because he's not talented enough, but whatever. He's a poacher, and he's going to serve a role. And I think more than Braithwaite, the fact that Raymond got a squad number and is going to be on the bench tells you that in this formation, with the 3 midfielders, with Memphis Depay, with Antoine Griezmann, Ronald Koeman wants somebody up top to just get on the end of a goal, find himself, make some danger in the box, and today it was Martin Braithwaite. There's going to be times when it's Raymond. There's going to be times, ideally, that it's Sergio Aguero. There might be times eventually when it's Ansu Fati. We'll have to see what the answer is at the number 9 position, but it certainly is a center forward or striker by committee this season. Hey, and if Martin Braithwaite is going to start with 2 goals, I'll take it. Lord Braithwaite it is. 4. Frankie de Young, remember, is only 24, and he's still getting better. It's no surprise that his first half stats were almost perfect, and Barcelona were up 2-0 after 45 minutes. De Young was 20 for 20 on accurate passes, 1 for 1 on crosses completed, 2 for 2 on take-ons, 4 for 4 on ground duels, and he had an assist. What more do you want from Frankie de Young? I know it's hypocrisy, but Frankie de Young might actually benefit a little bit from the space that is now vacated by Messi on that right wing. He won't be dribbling into that space as much as he will allow his partnership with Memphis Depay and Antoine Griezmann to flourish as they have a bit more space, and he's willing to deliver that ball. Instead of putting it at the feet of Messi and allowing him to do whatever he needs to, Frankie de Young is able to be a bit more proactive, get to the wing, get that cross in for the second goal, and do what he needs to do with Busquets behind him to set himself up to cut out those counterattacks. And I think he did just that in the first half. And for that reason, more than any other, yes, Busquets was good. Yes, Piqué, they had to score the goals. But de Young was the best player in that first half, and therefore Barcelona dominated Real Sociedad. 5. And I know I'm jumping the gun here, but Barcelona could, can, and should contend for the Liga crown this season. Real Sociedad had an off day, but that's not Barcelona concern. They had to win the 3 points regardless of who they were playing and regardless of how good their opponent was. For 3 minutes in that match, Real Sociedad were better than Barcelona and they scored 2 goals, and Barca have, not to say it's a lesson to be learned, but you know in the Liga, if for a minute you turn off, your opponent is going to get you beat. But for the rest of that game, the other 87 minutes plus all that stoppage time, Barcelona were superior to Real Sociedad, and they can only work with the opponent they're facing. Real Sociedad is supposed to be a difficult opponent, but Barcelona took all that heartbreak, they took a tough week, they took a tumultuous summer, and they turned that into something that Kool-Aid should be proud of. All of that considered, I also said on the podcast last week that a lot of those experts, that being neutral experts, said Barcelona have a deep enough squad to win the La Liga crown. And for those reasons, we should be optimistic about this win for Barcelona. Does it mean that they're favorites? No, but it means that looking at Atleti, looking at Real Madrid, they should be worried about the fact that the Blaugrana are just as good as ever, even without their talisman, even without the greatest player of all time. So I hope you join me this week for the podcast, and we have plenty of other content out, whether it's this channel, whether it's on Patreon, whether it's the podcast. Again, I'm excited for this new season. I'm optimistic. I'm still hurting a little bit. There's a lot of emotions going on, so I hope you join me and give us a like, subscribe, and make sure you come back here whenever you can, because as always, Forza Barca.